Hey, this is a skid, and I'm sharing with you my first ride on my 1200 GS since I had broken my wrist back in May. And again, I want to highlight that having something like that happen, it was an off-road accident. There's a separate video for it, and this is me contemplating if I even have the strength. Because again, this is my wrist after the break, probably an hour and a half after, and it was so painful. Um, and I was really just nervous about getting on the bike. I didn't understand what had gone wrong on the ride that resulted in the accident. Um, so just highly concerned. That's right. And when you get on a bike after a long break, especially after kind of a traumatic accident, there's a lot of fear involved. There's a lot of trepidation. And when you don't know what happened, like you can't pinpoint, hey, look, a car pulled in front of me, or I hit this big rock, or I went into this ditch, or I hit deep sand, or I was totally off camber and the bike slid out. When you can't identify that, you're just waiting for the bike to buck you off. And I ride horses, so I use a lot of horse analogies in my riding. So when I got on this bike, I was just waiting for the rear tire to kick out from underneath me. And of course it didn't. The bike was reliable, and I'm sure there was something that happened over the Memorial Day weekend that any experienced rider would have just said, "Oh yeah, well this is what happened." So anyway, getting out, you can see where we live is beautiful. It's the Santa Cruz Mountains. This is one of my favorite rides, kind of going out from Boulder Creek down into Santa Cruz. And the one thing I have to say about riding motorcycles is a lot like riding horses. If you're nervous of the horse feels a lot bigger, a lot more powerful. And then as you get more experienced in riding, the horse actually starts to get smaller. And the same is true for the bike. Now, admittedly, the GS is a big bike, the 1200 GS, but before the accident, it didn't feel like a big motorcycle. But when I got on it this Saturday, man, it felt huge. It felt like I was riding on top of a semi.
The thing that I don't know though is my ABS on or is it off?
This is something else you'll see later in the video. Is because we had been off-road riding, we had turned the ABS and traction control off, and I was confused on how to turn it back on. And I didn't check the owner's manual, and of course I tried to search YouTube and find a video that quickly explained it, but of course there's nothing. All right, so the whole baby thing was because I did feel like a child riding. But this is coming down Highway 9 from Belton going into Santa Cruz. You see I passed Henry Cow. Love the park. Used to do a lot of horseback riding through there. Just gorgeous with trees. And then the other curious thing on Henry Cow is this. It's the Bigfoot Museum. Now, I personally have never been there. Yes, I know I lived there like all my life. So one of these trips, I'll make it a point to go there and get some shots so you guys can see it. The other cool thing is as you're driving along, you can see these kind of cool old stone bridges. That goes back to the late 18, early 1900s when they put the big Cruise Railroad in there. This is one of the remaining wooden train bridges, which is really kind of cool. So it's nice to kind of stop there, take a look at it, get some photos, and kind of feel the history of the place. Santa Cruz area, Santa Cruz Mountains just have so much to offer the motorcycle rider as far as beauty of the roads, quality of the tarmac you're riding on, and the scenery and the environment. I'm just so grateful to live in that area and ride a motorcycle. So this next bit is just me trying to hit up our driveway. You can see this is a view of our property, and one road goes up to some cabins we have, and this other road kind of spins around. And because I wasn't really confident doing it, you can see I kind of fall back, and I actually had to wait for my husband to come down, and this is him actually taking the bike up to where we park him up by the barn in our storage area. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you had an accident, get back out there and ride, and look forward to talking to you soon. Happy trails!